Hey, if you guys are like me and you want some super crispy clear photos of the moon, then stay tuned. So I want to show you a trick of getting super crispy pictures of the moon. All you need is your DSLR or mirrorless camera. I'm using the Canon R5 with the 800 millimeter, and I also have the 100 to 400. I'm going to be using an ISO of 401 1,000ths of a second. All right, pop off a couple shots and that should be sufficient. Now, I just want to give you a little pro tip. If you are shooting on a tripod, turn off your image stabilization. If you are shooting super fast shutter speeds, you also need to turn off your image stabilization. And the reason why is image stabilization, if you had over 2,000ths of a second shutter speed, image stabilization will give you blurry pictures. So that's my pro tip. You guys have a blessed day and check out these images.
So now you're going to want to take your moon pictures and upload them to Lightroom or whatever software that you're using. I'm using Lightroom. These first four right here were captured with the Canon EF 100 to 400, and my shutter speed was 1/1000th of a second, 5.6 ISO 100. The rest of these from number 5 to 16 were with the RF 800 millimeter. I'm going to take these four for simplicity and for speed. We're going to right click on the mouse and we are going to hit photo merge, go to HDR. Don't worry about cropping yet until after everything's done. Make sure auto align and auto settings are done. Alright, so according to this, 1, 2, 3 are the unmerged. 5 is the unmerged, but you can see right here, this is where they merged them. Photo has develop adjustments and photo has been cropped. I haven't done either or on those. So I'm going to click number 4, go into the develop mode, and you can see where they cropped it to align it. So I don't know where the moon is yet, so we're just going to go out of there. Right now we're going to just go to highlights and just bump it up. And just your highlights alone will bring the moon back. And we should have a little bit more detail, as you can see right here. Adobe really hasn't done much with this. If I was to just say hit auto, it's probably going to make it black again because it just doesn't understand the light of the moon, because the moon is just basically one giant light source. So now you'll want to crop, and if you want to change your crop, hit the O button and it will show you different crop modes just to help line it up. Try to get that dead center. Good enough. I'm actually going to pull that in and make the moon a little bit bigger. That should do. And then clarity, texture are the ones you're going to want to use, and dehaze comes in real handy for getting the moon pretty crispy, because the moon has a lot of haze. Look, if you go all the way left, you get a halo. All the way right, it might be a little too punchy, but I don't know, somewhere between 25 and 50, depending on how your image came out and what lens you had. I'll add a little bit of texture, and as you can see, it's coming along. Look how nice the edges look. We're going to want to add a little bit more light. You can even turn down the exposure and turn up highlights. It doesn't matter which way you get your light source, because highlight, whites, and exposure are all pretty much going to do the same thing when it comes to a moon picture. You can even pull your blacks up if you want. Some people like to darken it down, and then if you really want to have fun with it, go to tint, and you can make it a little more yellow or a little more blue. I know I went a little far with it, but right there looks pretty natural. But that is a quick way to get a pretty sharp moon picture, as you can see right here. And if you have the Topaz softwares, they have Topaz Denoise, Sharpen, and Gigapixel. You could actually run it through Sharpen and get a little bit better result. So if you're willing to see that, I'll go ahead and run that, and we'll see what we got. I think it's a little too blue, but we'll fix it in a second. This shouldn't take too long. I have a pretty good graphics card. Wow, I think that was a bit much. So there's your before, there's your after. So you really get a lot of detail on these. Let's see what Too Soft looks like. I actually think Too Soft came out the best. It just gave it that little extra, little extra. And you have all these different ones here. I like to personally do a 4 screen, and if you don't know how to do that, you have what's called your comparison view. Then you have a side by side, or kind of like a split mode. And then the split view will actually, if you pick one and hit split view, it will allow you to go back and forth to see the before and after. And I think that added just enough along the edges here. You don't want to blow it out. Let it and run back to Lightroom. And you can do this numerous times and just keep playing with it until you get the look you're looking for. And I think that something like that should do it for me right there. And this is with a 400mm lens, 400 millimeters. And these right here are 800, so I'll get a lot more detail, but there's more pictures, and I just wanted to do a simple HDR for you guys. Well, thank you for watching. If any of this helped, I hope it did. Please be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps with a new channel so I can keep making videos and tutorials. Thank you guys. I hope you guys had a blessed New Year's, and I'll see you in the next one.